So I've just come around the other side of this battery so that we can see a bit better. So once you've decided that your voltage of your batteries is high enough and suitable for storage, then you want to make sure it stays that way. Now, quite a lot of you have probably got solar panels on your motorhome. So if you're not using a cover and you're not storing it under dense trees or a carport, and your solar panel was sort of 100 watts plus, then even in the winter months there should be enough sunlight to keep your batteries topped up, provided nothing's draining your battery. So in that scenario, if you do have the solar panels, you might choose to leave your batteries connected. But if there's nothing charging your battery, and there might be something draining your battery slightly, so in that case it's probably best to disconnect your battery. Once you've checked that the voltage is good, it's ready for storage, then we'll disconnect your battery. Quite a few motorhomes have got an isolation switch, which is usually a red key that you quarter turn to isolate the battery, or quarter turn to switch it all back on again. That's usually in the driver's footwell. So if you have got that red key, that's probably the best way for you to isolate the power on your battery. If you haven't, and you can access the battery, unlike this Naus where it's quite involved to access the battery and you've actually got to lift the seat off, then if you can get to the battery, you might choose to remove the negative clamp, and that'll suitably isolate it and make sure nothing's draining the battery. None of those are acceptable ways in this particular Naus. We don't have the key, and we really can't get to the battery easily. But there is this fuse down here where I've already loosened the fuse caps. It's a pain to get off, but we've got this big 50 amp fuse there, and if we pull that out, then that isolates all the habitation equipment from the leisure battery. If we leave that fuse out during storage, then nothing can drain the battery, and hopefully the voltage should stay pretty stable in the battery. Over many months it will still drop even with nothing draining it, so it's still a good idea to come back and check every few months, just check if the batteries need a charge. Last thing to be aware of in this section: if you've got more than one leisure battery, then usually they're all connected together. So let's say you've got 4 leisure batteries, and all 4 of them will be connected together to make a bank of batteries. In that scenario, I would suggest that you separate the 4 batteries from each other, because if one battery fails in the bank of 4, for an example, then it will start to drain power from the other 3 batteries trying to charge itself, and if the battery's failed or it's damaged, then it's never going to be able to charge itself, so it will just continuously drain the other 3 batteries. And when you come back to your battery bank, you'll find that instead of having one battery that's failed, all 4 batteries will have failed. So if you do have a bank of batteries, separate them, test them and charge them individually to make sure that they're not damaging each other.